I
All
might
right,
have an
go
idea.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Nick came in the room. He's drunk or belligerent or something. And the Courtney shit came up again. And basically, the view was expressed that people didn't know exactly what Taylor's reasons for not wanting her back were. They felt like he didn't articulate those clearly enough. So I
I
was
did
going.
not intentionally.
So I was going to tell them, shed a little bit of light on why he would not want her back. In terms, what I was going to say was essentially that she's an attention seeker. She doesn't want unity in the group. She just wants to create drama, stuff like that.
So I agree that I did not say even a fraction of the things that would have been impactful. Primarily to respect Courtney's right to not be completely slandered any more than you know,
She wouldn't have been
is
slandered.
necessary.
That's not the right word.
Whatever. I mean, it's right. It's all true. I've got a lot more shit I could dump on the table, but it didn't seem necessary because she's already displayed enough that any reasonable person could see that she's useless.
For some reason, I don't know. I have no evidence for this, but you already don't give a shit about her. I don't think you would care about quote unquote slandering her, whatever you want to call it, running a smear campaign on her. I don't think you actually would care.
I will send you screenshots through Facebook of all the text messages she sent me, and then you can make that decision.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, but anyway, so I was basically gonna
Neptune, you're stupid as fuck.
shed a little
Okay.
light on that.
Sound upset,
I'm on.
Taylor.
Oh,
You want to
Hold
talk about
on.
it?
Hold on. I want to chime in a bit of a moderating voice here, which is I think it's of note that a decent number of the community members would like to hear your reasoning behind your decision. And I think it's reasonable of them to express that they'd like to hear that reasoning. And even if we've acknowledged and we've made clear in the right from the get go that nobody's entitled to hear it, it would seem to be a I think it would be of service for you to articulate for everybody who has that question the some a bullet points of answers or something.
okay. Well, I'll just briefly say that all the things. I mean, I didn't miss any topics when I broadly said that she's manipulative and lying. I've just got a whole lot more pool of evidence to draw off of. I've got text messages and text messages. Anyone who saw Katie getting all pissed, she just read the text messages today. I haven't showed them to anyone because it didn't seem to do anything but stir up more drama, which is what I didn't want to do.
Okay, so let's
Um,
turn it back now to the Inquisition here. Do you feel as though you've done Courtney a service by bringing out reference to stuff that you probably wouldn't like to have referenced? Because I know what he's referring to.
I think at this point, well, I think that she doesn't deserve any service at all. Um, I
But hold
yeah,
on, Taylor, that may be the case, but right now they're saying she does, and so
that she does what?
that they're saying their point is that you are doing her in some sense a disservice, at least the community a disservice by not providing reasons. Now, my point is it doing the community a disservice still or her still? You can answer both those questions
If,
separately.
okay, I got it. If
Neptune
so,
and Nick or whomever else that knowing that there's probably stuff that might seal the deal for everybody, but he doesn't want to reveal it or something. I
so
don't know.
if I'm in an enforcing role, which I am in right now, and something needs to be enforced. Let's say you're in Courtney's shoes. Would you prefer I do it by decree, like I have, or that I do it by stirring up a lynch mob, by demonstrating all the things that you've done wrong?
If we're going toe to toe, it's a lot uglier than the current approach.
Right. This is a whole lot cleaner. So I think that the community is best served by having that established as precedent. What's better,
Okay.
Neptune?
All right. Well, look, Neptune. I understand what I want to try to bridge this, bridge the divide a bit here, and I'm not saying let's play compromise, but let's play additive sum framing. So I would argue that airing shit out is, in general, and transparency is, in general, an excellent mechanism. But if you're saying that we need to air shit out, then I'm wondering why this particular old musty blanket has been airing out now in the wind, in a strong gale force wind, for 6 weeks on the clothesline, and it's not fucking aired out yet.
Who's not tired of it? Who feels like we don't have enough information?
I mean, I'm not tired of it, but I totally feel like we have enough information, and I'm getting tired of it. I think it continues to be interesting, though, frankly, because it has a continually evolving meta narrative of why is this lasting so long, and how is it exactly that people are moved to take up into one camp or the other. I've tried to stay pretty much removed from it, and I think I've tried to, even in this conversation here, try to stay removed from the core dispute by trying to analyze what the dispute is and how it works. So, in this instance, I'm not quite sure. I get this. It's easy to feel bad for Courtney in certain moments in a video where she says, when she does apologize and tries to be as fairish as she can be, which isn't very fairish, but, and to see the resolve in Taylor makes me feel bad too. But that doesn't mean it's not the exact thing that needs to be done, and we should be saying, I'm glad Taylor's here. He's got resolve.
I think a better question would be, what would satisfy your resistance? What could she do that would make you go, you know what, you're right? You can use your voice. Okay, but you keep reducing it to an emotional decision. It was not. The very minute I said I was done with her, when this started 2 months ago, it was out of the cold. It was the final straw. It was an objective decision.
And listen, Neptune, I want to say that to me, I see her as something of an asset, a character, an interesting member of the community. But what I also know is that Taylor is judging her fitness not by how it plays in media in the moment, but by preferring the health of the community overall. In the same way that a forest fire has to be allowed to happen occasionally to keep the forest healthy, so too does Taylor have to burn an occasional wrongdoer who is persistent in character deficits with the firing map gas flames of his truth.
This is true, but she doesn't have any channel rights or passwords or anything or access, so I don't see her as a fire, more of just like mosquito maybe.
No,
is
she's
the worst
not the fire, she's the forest. She's a plant in the forest.
What would it take for you to decide that someone doesn't need to be here?
I mean, I just don't think that there's anything that, what, she gets in a couple arguments with a couple girls here.
Stop negating things. I know that you can negate things. Replace it with something.
What did you ask me again? Repeat it.
What's a criterion? By what standard do we use to say that person's too bad, we won't have them around here?
Right, it's different for each person, so we're just going off of what Taylor.
Give me any arbitrary standard that you have at all conceptually. Besides, I don't agree with Taylor.
She gets in more decent conversations than she does arguments, for one.
I don't know if that's true, but okay.
Like, I mean, we just watched like the raw footage.
That's fine. I can see the point. I can see the point for argument. Go ahead.
I mean, she contributes just as much as anyone else, I guess. To like, nobody really is doing anything super duper great except like Susie, you know, like, and obviously people aren't doing that much negative. But I don't know what else to base it on. I mean, this is just conversation online, and that's all that she's capable of doing from now on because she doesn't have any power. So, what's the worst thing that could happen with her talking to people, even if it's dramatic? Like,
the point is that she is a negative in seeking person. She seeks drama. She creates problems. She's been at the center of all the major malfunctions since before you got here with your little opinion.
oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have an opinion.
You should understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, all right.
I know just as much as you do. Well, actually, no, I don't, because you have so many secrets about her that
But
would
ultimately,
change my mind. So why don't you tell me that, Taylor?
How many times do I have to say this isn't a democracy?
We know that. We know that, Taylor. But listen, hold on. I got to come to Neptune's defense here because he's voicing in a reasonable fashion some reasonable questions and concerns. We know, I agree, everybody knows that at the end of the day, the decision we made, for whatever reasons we provide for our whim, ultimately, at the end of the day. The question is, it doesn't change our responsibility to justify it in a way that others can better understand why we're right. And simply saying that because we say so, which is the autocracy point, is not ultimately the press release we want on this particular decision. Thoughts?
I don't feel any desire to justify anything to Neptune until he's justified it, throwing a crown back on her head.
Snitch ass Susie, fucking told.
Okay,
I knew.
Well, it was funny.
It makes me laugh. I mean,
that's not why you told Taylor.
You get points for
yes,
making me laugh.
I knew it.
It was so that Taylor could laugh at it. I doubt that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, but look here. This is the bottom line. Can I sell Taylor? Can I sell this side because you're selling it?
No, you
too much
because he's the one who's causing shit, and
I'm causing so much shit. What do you mean the shit has been there?
You're dragging the shit on. I'm telling you,
I'm talking about it because it was brought up in the other room. Did I bring it up? No.
Okay, but can we just try a little bit? Can we try? Can I tag you out 8 for 7 for a minute?
Me out?
Yeah, can I tag you out? I'll take your side. But can I tag out with you? So I'll be nice. I'll be gonna FB soften it.
No, let Taylor keep defending.
Anything constructive out of him.
Okay, well, can you let me play mediator instead of arguer for once? Let me see. Look, my point is that this thing is a discursive process, and it's not a good idea, and not inconsistent with our values that we uphold to shut down discourse because the core argument in the argumentation chain wins the point. It does. You're right. It wins it. But they're saying, but we'd like to argue it out as though it doesn't win it. And to me, that's a perfectly reasonable request. I like more discourse. Now, if you don't want to argue with them, you're obviously do whatever you want to do. But that's why I was saying, can I argue it out with them?
Laundry, and it will ultimately do a disservice to everybody if that becomes the standard operating procedure of all your dirty laundry gets aired.
Taylor, we don't have to air it all. And, dude, for the first time ever, I'm going to tell you to check your NI.
My NI?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
What Neptune?
I said it in your
Neptune,
head. Thinking, what's that? What's that?
Neptune, I'm still waiting for you to say anything besides I resist alpha males.
You interfered with my fucking important job I'm supposed to do. Neptune.
You just took his side.
Do not interfere with my important job. All right? Now that it's one thing for you to successfully push a few slivers in. It's quite another to interfere with me when I am trying to bridge shit. All right?
I get it, Eric. I get
it. If you get a few slivers in on me and Taylor's got to bridge shit, then I don't want you interfering with him doing that process either. Because I can get a little... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Neptune, I would say this. The reason is fundamentally about the health of the community. It's a toss-up with Courtney, in my head, because while I do acknowledge that she's not in a position to do concrete harms, she's definitely in a position to do metaphysical harms. In fact, your presence here is indicative of a metaphysical harm that she's done. She's got you and Nick convinced that Taylor's a bad guy because he's made an arbitrary decision, even though, as he's indicated to us tonight, he's not revealed shit to protect her privacy. Even if that was not his actual motivation, it was at least he was at least strategically aware of that as a possible argument, which is just as good as it being his actual motivation, because it means he factored it into his impact equation. So, as a consequence, Neptune, once we hear this reality that you've been successfully turned against Taylor, there's not one shred of bad thing you can say about, except that sometimes his 8 causes him to stick to certain channels of discourse that maybe aren't bridgy, right? They're kind of collapsy. But the point being, we can, if we step back for a second, remember that you are why Courtney is a bad idea, because she's constantly trying to turn people against one another.
At this point,
I literally don't feel any differently about Taylor as a human being. It's just about the conversation and the whole process of whether or not she comes back in.
Okay, and I want to point out that you have not suggested anything constructive once.
I mean, there's really not much to say about people talking in a room, is what I'm saying.
I'll say something about it then. I think the point, though, Neptune, is let's say I were to agree in spirit with the notion that she should come in and engage in conversation as she sees fit, and that it wouldn't do any harm, and blah, 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 blah. Let's just say I were to agree with that position. We come back to the core point that we just made, that what she does is turn people against one another. I, too, have messages dating back to before I visited her of her complaining about different people. At first, I listened to her a little bit. I mean, I made a video a long time ago when the first time she told on somebody, where I made fun of her in that video where I went and made a video saying, Courtney, so this is like the first time this had ever happened. Courtney sent me a text saying, like, somebody's teasing her or something. And I'm like, I think she's trying to tell on somebody. But she had done it ever since. Now, I haven't shared any of the shit I have either. Why? Not because I'm concerned about her privacy necessarily, but because I realize just this. When I think about sharing private messages between her and me, I think, God damn it. Then that'll open up this line of argumentation for Courtney. And I don't want to do that. And at a certain point, I was just like, man, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm just not going to deal with it. And so I came up with a perfect solution. A solution that is correctly respectful of all parties. Unfortunately, in the process, I kind of unreasonably, or without really actually intentionally doing it, I put too much of the burden on Taylor to carry this decision, and it's not necessary for him to carry it all because I agree with him. He's right. She's bad news. She poisons people against one another, and the thing is, the kind of accusations she slings around are quite substantial in nature, and you can't shake the devil's hand over and over and over again and keep saying you're kidding, and expect anybody to believe that you're not going to side with the devil next time too. Now, I don't mind keeping my enemies close, my friends closer. Courtney's not smart enough to be my enemy, and she's not decent enough to be my friend. So I don't mind keeping her at a great distance. But I'm not trying to try it. I'm not going to make an effort to push her away. But I certainly appreciate any energy Taylor and or Susie put into kicking her or booting her from the room when she shows up. I don't mind her writing comments because they're kind of hilarious. But
everyone's starting point is wrong. No one should be saying anymore, what harm can she do? What does she deserve? Why would she be here?
Well, I disagree with that, though. Look, because
I know, but you're way more gullible.
No, but it's not a matter of gullibility. I'm saying that's not the only way to frame it to win this point, and it's not the best way to frame it to win the point. It's not the best framing. A better framing of this.
Not an upbeat framing. It's a logical framing. At this point, she has done nothing to validate herself being there except be a fuel for either drama. She's a drama baiter, and she also makes excellent comments on the videos.
But you do not have to do anything to be welcome to sit there normally. So the thing is, there's a need to distinguish between normal and this in terms of why. And the answer to why needs to be something better than autocracy. And so the correct answer, as far as I'm concerned, in my mind, is this. Do not underestimate the power of random sort of time magic spells flying off in all directions without the user of those spells having any training, any knowledge, any ability, or any particular concept that she's even doing it. I'm not sure half the time. This is what she's doing. She's throwing bad discourse around willy-nilly all the time. Does it have an impact on the world? Yeah. Exactly what is it? It's hard to say, but this is sort of the mechanics of dark arguments. She's throwing poison around. She's throwing it around every which way. She's throwing poison around about Taylor being mean or Taylor being arbitrary. She's causing this conversation to happen where I'm having to address things on the grounds that Taylor's simply choosing not to engage, understandably, with lines of argumentation he needn't engage with because he's already won the round. This is the round winner. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. But I'm trying to understand this from a discursive framework that says, okay, let's answer all of your hypotheticals because I want us to understand wholly, and I want it to be discursively evident for all parties, and I want everybody to see that this is not spiteful or arbitrary in the sense that it's done without due consideration. The amount of time that's been put into this has been massive, and I am at this point convinced that anything I would allow, to the extent that I would allow her near me and she were to influence me at all, if her words were to have impact on me, that it's going to be a negative impact, one way or the other. She's not, in my mind, good juju.
You should be embarrassed that you're such a fucking sucker.
Okay, shaming me is not a way to go about it.
Who he said? I think he said it to me, Neptune, not to you.
No, it also kind of applies to you, but certainly to Neptune.
Neptune, I don't agree with Taylor there. I understand the appeal of the narrative. I see how easy it is to buy into the narrative because at the end of the day, she's saying, all I want to do is express myself in a place that normally is open to anybody who wants to come and express themselves. And I need to understand what possible harm can I be doing just to come here and express myself to anybody else now that I have no powers and yada, 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 right?
Right.
Except the thing is, her presence does harm because of the narratives she talks. If we want to have a bunch of videos about me yelling at Courtney over and over again because she won't accept basic TI realities as I try to hammer them into her head, well, that's gotten old enough. I'm done fucking making hilarious jokes at Courtney's expense. But hilarious jokes, though. I gotta say, see, this is why I've been enjoying Courtney longer than I think Taylor has, is because when I engage with her, it's just an opportunity for her to get me mad so I can start making hilarious jokes. Like, you just need to go crawl back in your TI-free hole. Things like that, you know? And
her comment on the video today was the best argument I've heard for her coming back. That was fucking hilarious.
But the thing is, to the extent that we exclude somebody, we need a good reason to exclude them. We've got ample good reason here. We have ample examples of her causing problems. She has told me over the course of the time that she's been here that, you know what, this place isn't cool anymore. I fucking hate you guys. I'm leaving. Thrown up her hands and stormed off. I can't even count how many times. Dozens of times, probably. And I've got massive amounts of text to show it. The thing is, she's never given us any shred of the respect that you're giving her. She's disrespecting us continually, but you give her respect anyway.
There are a few members of the community that are weak-minded and convincible enough that they need to be protected from her. Only a handful of you.
I don't think
Taylor-
Neptune, you're one of them. Actually, I think that was a good jab for Taylor. It's a good jab, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah,
Eric, the
Taylor,
only thing I can say is she's never done any harm to me personally.
right.
I've literally
That's-
never had a problem with her on a
That's
personal.
a fair thing to say.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like,
Good. 2 thumbs up for Spacey.
Okay, well, let's pretend, just pretend that we were to say the following thing. Well, looking at the evidence here, she's definitely attacked Eric. She's definitely attacked Taylor. She's definitely attacked Susie. I have that evidence. I don't know if I've even gone and shared any of it. I don't necessarily feel the need to.
I've heard generally that there has been a ton of drama involving her, but I wasn't there for it and don't know the particulars.
It was like
So that's kind of where I'm at.
she and Elsie. She got in drama with.
She definitely attacked Elsie.
Yeah, Blankies. That's in Taylor.
Like,
Anyone hates her.
You're getting your
Probably
understanding from the only one who's talking about it.
What did you say, Taylor?
You're getting your understanding from the one person who wants to talk the most about it. And you're not factoring in that she's enjoying talking about it.
Okay, so without being autocratic, what do you think about the notion that when a community member, if a community member attacks just Susie, then that community member group gets forgiven. But if they then subsequently attack me, then they still get forgiven. But if they then proceed to attack Taylor, then they've 3 strikes and they're out, right? I mean, that's just 3 people. We could include a whole bunch more people that are important and significant members of the community whom she's attacked and or badmouthed. I could go through and look and count them all. It would probably be a lot. She's complained about God knows how many fucking people. That's what she does. What she always has done. I just kind of laughed it off because, I don't know. The thing is, I didn't used to realize it mattered how the community manifests in terms of I had to define things, you know? I used to think, oh, well, everybody should do exactly what they think about it. You know, everybody else should use this how they want to use it and ignore me. And I'd think that, but then I'd talk anyway, and I'd be like, oh, well, cognitive dissonance, oh no. You know? But the thing is, it's important to create a community environment where everybody's expression can be heard and that is conducive to useful expression and not bad expression and not constantly correcting the same stupid things and or constantly going, Courtney, will you shut the fuck up or whatever because she's saying dumbass shit, or constantly watching her pose. I kind of like the posing. It's kind of like watching somebody Vogue. If you put on a Madonna song, you could do a video of Courtney posing in front of the camera. I didn't really notice it until I think Taylor pointed out to me. I don't really notice physical shit very much. Anyway, yeah, that's basically what I say about it is how much more shit does she have to, how many more people does she have to attack, or how much more shit does she have to fuck up before we go, okay, you're not welcome here.
I mean, honestly, if I, for instance, if I had a channel and somebody that I gave channel privileges to deleted videos, that would already be enough for me to be like, no, you're not welcome here anymore, ever again, forever. But so I already get it. I'm just like, I don't know. If most people don't give a fuck and we're all over it, pretty much.
That was my point from the get-go.
Then why can't we just have her back in? Because none of us care.
Because there's kind of
more casual conversation with her.
There's revolving door people, and I don't expect to explain it to everyone every time.
Okay, but there's
I mean,
another point.
I'm simply not in love with her enough to really give a shit. So, like, whether she's here or not,
I haven't even
doesn't
talked
matter
to
to me
her
at
while
all.
she's been gone. Like, it's not like I'm like.
Yeah.
It's more about like.
I want to answer your point because I think it's well articulated and well made. And your point is basically, given the fact that we're a community that's all about being extra, not chops busty, Eric's famous infinite second chances thing, yada yada yada. Why is it that we can't bring in what would be the harm? Well, this is the thing you're not really answering though, Neptune. When you say that, is we've talked about what the harm would be, which is what would be the harm is the next person who gets attacked, or the next person who that Courtney complains about or starts to bad.
But I guess like it would be obvious who wins the argument based on who's right. Like if Courtney's wrong, it's very obvious that she's wrong. No one's gonna be fooled by it.
What
But it
about
does
Lori?
themselves.
How about Lori? How about Lori?
Oh yeah, that's fair actually. Yeah.
How about Neptune?
What, did you say something about me?
How about Neptune? Do you think Neptune's persuadable?
I mean, if she made a bad argument against me or said something about my character, I could destroy her if I wanted
Have
to.
you made it? Have you seen her make any good arguments?
Have
you
about
seen her-
anything?
Have you seen her make any good arguments or stop arguing when her arguments were bad?
Well,
No, that's true.
It's true. Some of her bad arguments are harmless, and some of them are quite malicious and evil. And we cannot
never tried to
expect.
debate with
And
her
she's had enough
because I-
opportunities to prove a possibility of
point.
changing behavior that we can conclude, extrapolate out from sufficient data pool now, since we have so much goddamn data, that she's just going to continue doing the same thing. And that some of those occasions will be personal attacks of a totally unacceptable nature, like the ones she launched against her friend Lori.
Yeah.
So to me, we've
You-
just actually talked out why Taylor's right.
Well, honestly, the thinking about the Lori situation and what happened there, that's kind of like breaks the camel's back for me.
Do you feel like a sucker yet?
I mean,
Taylor, you don't have to go
Yeah,
all extra. This is
I
we're just
agree.
trying to like make sure that she has a fair chance of getting back in because you're so extra like involved emotionally in this, it seems.
No, he's
So it's
not.
like-
Don't stop saying that fucking stupid ass argument, Neptune. That is not an argument. That stupid ass fucking thing you say where he's emotionally involved had nothing to do with whether he's saying blah blah blah. The point
I
is,
just want to make sure that he's being like
the point
guess-
I want to make is I don't think you should feel like a sucker because even if it was some sort of gullibility involved, that's not the point. The point is you helped me to feel substantially different about it because you compelled me to, by coming in here so reasonably, you compelled me to be a bridge narrative, and now I finally accept, actually, that Taylor's right. I didn't. The whole time I've been arguing on behalf of the fact that I'm going to side with Taylor. It doesn't matter. And so, but at the end of it, I realized, oh, he's right.
I mean, I just kind of realized that he's right, but only because you mentioned the Lori thing, and I remember
That doesn't
something
make me a
that
sucker.
she said about that.
It means
No,
that he
makes
did a
Neptune
poor
a
job of explaining it all.
I wasn't explaining it at all.
I know that's a poor job.
That's self-defeating and that's stupid.
That's a 0. You got a 0 on that assignment. You didn't get any points on it.
I've said from the beginning, I'm letting on that field. I'm not playing this game. I'm tired of it.
I'm joking, Taylor. I'm joking. Chill out, dude. I'm sorry. My bad. I don't mean to fuck around like that. Look, the point is, you're totally right. Okay, I want to stress that. I'm actually convinced now. I wasn't convinced though until I finished until I had to argue your side against somebody, which is very obviously very helpful.
What do you guys do with your brains when you're not talking?
Well, I'm usually
You're
busy
never not talking.
thinking about other things. Or it depends what I'm arguing. It depends which side I'm arguing. Sometimes I
This
don't
was also
happen upon the right side to argue. It's okay. Makes
this
things
was also a
interesting.
matter of memory too, because I mean, I'm like thinking about all the things, and then none of them were really that big of a deal, and then he reminded me of a particularly shitty thing that went down, and then I'm kind of like, well, that's extra shitty. So that kind of did it for me.
I'm going to fail the subject again, but I just want to reiterate, Neptune, that your opinion doesn't fucking matter to me.
It
And
matters to
I don't
me,
care that
Neptune.
you don't think
matters
it
to me.
cares, so I'm gonna talk regardless.
Oh,
That felt good.
This is a
Mostly because it makes Eric squirm.
this is as interesting a group dynamic as I recall. Is the three of us basically. Susie, you got anything to chime in on this? Spacey too, 4 of us. Susie, you got anything to chime in, or Spacey wants to say anything else, or she, or anyone?
I don't really have anything to say. Like, get rid of her if you want to. I can have some good conversations with her every now and then. I don't really care much one way or the other.
I will admit that she had such a good comment today on that video that it was insanely good. Oh, I will hate to see that sort of stupidity go.
I like the fact that we could infer from it that Taylor and I wrote the Declaration of Independence.
I really don't like the bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm not done with her.
Well, Neptune wants to hear all the dirty laundry, so you can tell him all.
I think the point's won. The thing is, I don't know if everybody's been convinced, but the point is...
My point's not won. I'm not done with the bitch. My shit just got started.
My bad. Let me get out of your way.
That is going to ruin the health of the community, Katie. I'm going to have to ask you not to say it.
Neptune, you negating everything doesn't help the health of the community.
Shut up. Oh my God.
You don't ever make a statement that has anything but negation.
Hello, welcome to INTP Land.
There's a lot of INTPs here who aren't doing the shit that you're doing.
But you're adding things with NE. I'm breaking things down to the ground with TI. So that's why it goes that way. Do you understand the function?
What do you suggest? I've been trying to get...
Taylor, you already fucking won it. Right now you're just like, hey, I won. Hey. Like,
all right,
okay,
look,
Taylor, congrats.
Neptune, you have equal ownership of this. Okay, it's not just that. It's not one direction, but this is testy, obviously, and shit happens sometimes, and people get upset sometimes.
Your own standard that you don't hold yourself to should be embarrassing for you.
Me?
No, Neptune.
What's
he requires nothing of himself except for rocking the boat if he doesn't like it.
Okay, but this to me is a direct consequence and a further example of why we should have Courtney out, because even the guy who has the resolve to make it happen is being impacted negatively in ways that require him to... He is backing him into more 8, right? This is why she's bad. This is why she's bad. Neptune and Taylor were not arguing before, right? And yet now they are. And it's not even about Courtney anymore. It's about how the fact that Taylor's still kind of mad, and now you're saying, well, don't be still mad. You already won. You don't got to rub in my face. And Taylor's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then getting more mad. And so who gets credit for all of this stuff? Is it Neptune? No. Is it Taylor because he was so mean to block Courtney? No, it's fucking Courtney. Who else? Brings the discord.
I mean, I know who's particularly subject to falling into it every time.
Taylor, can you please let me do my important work without constantly stepping on top of everything I'm doing? Yeah, it's like I started building something, and Taylor comes and goes, yeah.
I've been building shit for 2 months while you were...
Taylor, let me put the finishing touches on the goddamn thing.
I'm not done smashing shit.
Yeah, I bet if you just... You know what you look like you need is a bong rip. You should take a break here, push camera off and mute, and go have your bong rip.
Yeah, you know what, Eric? I completely agree.
Don't anybody else say a goddamn thing. For Christ's sakes, what are you fucking thinking? Fucking Spacey. Everybody wants to get in the way of
that a bong rip is in order when you're getting tested.
Hot cha dancing here, and you're not helping. This is effing masterwork.
I'm still here, but I'm shutting up now.
Okay,
I'm going away. Katie's watching for me.
Okay, good.
Just have her sign into her own name.
No, just
right.
Let's just not.
And that for two.
Let's just not make unsolicited suggestions. Let's just let them.
I'm leaving the computer here. She, will you fuck off of things that you don't know what's happening?
Right. Okay.
Janelle, that's really not appreciated.
Why?
Oh, yeah. All right, so,
Oh, fuck her. She was trolling me yesterday.
who?
Anonymously. Like, that's so cowardly.
Who was trolling you?
Both of them.
Katie is a motherfucker too.
Taylor and Katie are motherfucker
Call
too.
me. No. I logged on my phone earlier and it doesn't log me on as shit.
Taylor and Katie are not motherfucker too.
Fucking troll.
Yeah, I
was
don't know how
on the
you
way
can prove
downstairs.
that sheet.
She's mad because she read the text messages today where Courtney's trying to get my dick out of my pants. It's
Wait.
not vague. Now, she's mad today, so she got on. That's why she's logging on from her phone today. I was outside with her. Get your fucking conspiracy theory off of me.
It's not possible.
Okay. I don't. All right. It's fine. It's
That's why
fine.
you have fucking theories off no evidence.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Do you see why I said that was not she? I mean, really?
God. Sorry.
Bad
really
timing.
carried away, so.
It's bad. You're very robotic. Can you please refresh? So,
Oh my
this
goodness.
should be the most damning evidence against Courtney of all. The evidence of what happens when we let her run amok amongst us is that she sows discord, creates conflicts, drives people against each other with false innuendo and rumor and hearsay and ha-cha-cha-chas, and then
It's amazing she did it because she's so stupid.
and then
I really
we
don't
have a
think
lot
she's
of
all
people
that
who are
stupid.
mad. Then we have a lot of people who are mad.
She's immoral, which makes it easy to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So,
that's why we don't
so
want
I
her
think-
around.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm 100%. I'm probably more in the camp of getting rid of her than anybody now. I will certainly boot her in a
Hey,
moment's notice
you know
because
what?
I'm watching
Walk on her
before
head.
my
I'm
eyes
gonna
the
go get some
damage she's
water.
doing. You know what I'm saying? I like Neptune, and yet Neptune and Taylor were not liking each other tonight. But I like everyone to get along. I like
That
the
happens
merry
every now
atmosphere, you know? Why is that happening? And Taylor's going to say, well, it's because Neptune's gullible. Neptune's going to say, no, it's because Taylor's not giving it good answers. And but that, why is that conversation happening at all? Because of Courtney. So I don't like to see people I do like being upset and caused the bad kind of conflict by people I don't care about at all or actively don't like. At this point, having reviewed in my own head the arguments against her being here, I've concluded they're far stronger, especially adding this evidence, than those in favor of keeping her here. And I do so without any display of emotional involvement in the thing, and I think everybody can agree I probably don't seem to actually have any emotional involvement in the thing. Although you could accuse me of always going to be siding with Taylor anyway, I've already acknowledged that I was siding with Taylor no matter what, but I was still making the arguments legitimately, and what I've determined, given the evidence, and Neptune agreed once we parsed through it, is that she should be excluded. But it's reasonable, therefore, for Neptune to have thought, because I also thought, I mean, there's no harm for it, she's an asset, she'll be a drama, blah, blah, blah. But now, I hope we all see that what I said, my initial argument was really this. I don't know, it seems like she should probably be allowed to come here, but I trust Taylor, and I'm assuming his resolve on this matter indicates that it's something I should take him seriously about, that he's right. And I don't need to know any more than that because I wasted too much time thinking about this already. By the end of this conversation, though, I'm convinced that I do know that he's right, and I see that knowing all that stuff doesn't mean he's not subject to her harms himself. So that's the bottom line. Is instead of being mad at Taylor for being whatever, or instead of being mad at Neptune for being whatever, if you must be mad at somebody, be mad at the actual culprit. 1C *Ertney.
And Neptune.
No,
I-
Taylor, not
wait,
in
no,
Neptune.
I want to be mad at Taylor.
No,
Why?
let's not anybody be mad at anybody, okay? Let's
I
all
mostly
be
just want to throw that in there to sound fun.
let's
Matt,
all be
Courtney.
happy at each other instead of mad at each other.
Wait, did I just get called
Fuck out of here with
Courtney?
that shit.
I'm Lightbulb.
Hi,
I
Lightbulb.
know, Lightbulb.
I'm happy at you, Lightbulb. I'm happy at you
Yeah,
right
she
now.
did. Of course, she showed up right now.
I'm
Wait,
demonstrating. I'm soothing
Hi,
the
Katie.
mood. Katie, or Lightbulb, do you want to try to soothe the mood? I'm trying to soothe the mood with some smooth.
I mean,
sounds,
honestly,
smooth
there's
jokes.
really no bad blood between me and Taylor. This was just an argument like any other argument me and Taylor have gotten in. I'm sure there was
No,
more
it a
weight
little
on it.
bit more
Oh,
feisty.
Effie.
Yeah, he can be a little bitch for sure.
Whoa, Effie.
Get over it.
What did Katie just say? Katie,
I don't know.
wanna be-
I was busy yelling at you and calling you a bitch.
Hey, okay, guys. This argument though is sourced back to Courtney, not to you guys. So try to be mad at Courtney. You guys can pretend I'm Courtney and yell at me if you'd like. I'll be Courtney. Hi guys. You said that this
Hey,
book
don't-
once said this and space time. Woo! I'm an intellectual.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Nick,
Eric,
you can't do Courtney.
all you make me want to do is yell at Neptune more, just because that's retarded what you're doing.
Taylor, listen. It may be retarded what I'm doing, but at least now you're talking about what I'm doing that's retarded, which I appreciate. So, I am guilty of a lot of retardation, and I don't doubt that it
Eric.
can be articulated clearly in ways that would enable me to better parse it away from myself.
Eric,
Yes, Taylor.
Neptune, you're a bitch.
He's so
Be
ridiculous.
nice to
My God.
Neptune.
I mean, it just looks sillier on his end, honestly.
Neptune,
You're
will
being
you
silly,
stop?
too.
Will you just let it go?
No,
I'm about to just.
Go.
I'm about to throw up my hands and just let it happen.
He
What
just
happens.
called me a bitch like 3 times in a row. Come on, Eric.
Okay, I agree, Neptune, that you were not being a little bitch tonight. I'm siding with you. You were not being a little bitch tonight. Your position was perfectly reasonable. I understand
He's
why you
upset
wanted
that
more
I-
discourse, and in fact, more discourse was necessary to change my fundamental opinion about it. So, to the extent that you caused that to happen, it was a good thing. But I'm not going to credit
Yeah.
Courtney for that part of it. All right, so
All Taylor's mad about is me matching his adamant, and I wasn't actually at the core that adamant about it. I just wanted to match it and see, I guess, where it went. Because ultimately, I'm going to be in this community anyways, even if Courtney doesn't come back. But yeah,
What you wanted to do is challenge the alpha male, even though you didn't know what the fuck you were talking
first of
about.
all, I would have to deem you the alpha male for that to be the reason.
I've heard I'm using the phrase.
he
not
is
because
the
I'm
alpha
comfortable
male,
with it, because
obviously.
You're comfortable with
I don't think
it. I heard it out
Taylor's
of
the
your
alpha
mouth.
I don't think
Neptune-
the alpha male constantly asserts being the alpha male.
And Neptune, he's clearly
No.
the alpha male around here.
It's-
It's not me.
I'm saying it because it's something that's come out of your mouth.
Maybe we have a different scoring rubric for what makes one alpha male.
We're arguing because he's the only one continuously weak enough to fall for people's bullshit.
Give me another example of me falling for someone's bullshit.
Look, I want to address the interesting question of why I'm not the alpha male, okay? And the bottom line is because I am the guy who needs the alpha male around so that he's not too dorky and he's
so you
not
don't-
bothered by
and
people that
so
are
you-
that are other kind of like attacky people because
And so you
he's
don't
kind
have
of
to do the
oblivious.
dirty work.
And so I don't have to do any dirty work, but I'm willing to do the fucking dirty work. I have no problem. I did all the dirty work for a long time.
You have
I
a problem
have plenty
doing
of
it.
fucking pyow. All right, don't underestimate my pyow if I have to have it, but I'd like to play more. You know.
Also, the fastest way to rub your nose in it is to tell Neptune that he's a fucking bitch. Bitch.
Why do you keep returning to that shit? It's
But,
getting stupid.
but he's not though. Is the problem, Taylor? He's not. He brought in today perfectly good positions.
But you are, and you're trying to stop me.
Okay, well, if you want to call me a bitch, call me a bitch. I am happy to engage you on that point.
But I know that's the problem. Is you're too happy to go. You're right. I'm a bitch.
I'm not saying you're right. I'm a bitch. I'm saying you're right. I would like to engage you on that point of me being a bitch or not.
Well, I'm done with it. I just want to rub your nose in it. and that was the fastest way there.
Well, you
The
have to.
first three
You can't.
bitches on that
You're
team,
skipping a
second
step.
two were for you.
You're skipping a step. There's
What?
no rubbing my nose until I've engaged in the point. I don't even know what the point is. I haven't extracted all those.
I'm not
those
making a
mechanisms.
point. I'm just being vindictive. That's just pure vindication.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll take the vindictiveness. Okay, I'm sorry that it has been such. You've had to bear this burden for too long, and that is my fault. That I've tried to avoid this goddamn thing for too long. I am sorry I put that on your shoulders for such a long time.
Eric.
That wasn't cool. What?
I already got vindiction.
Okay, all right. I'll shut the fuck up.
And Neptune was a scapegoat for two of the bitches because that's the way you position things.
Susie,
First
can
of
you
all,
take
Taylor,
over,
you
please?
couldn't really win the arguments on your own. You needed Eric's help, so I don't know what you're so proud
Neptune,
about.
will you shut the fuck up?
Why are you proud again?
Susie,
I
will you
wasn't
take over,
feeling
please? Or
yourself
Mike
and
Bob or
finally Eric
somebody?
did it for you. Do you need a mouthpiece?
Oh my
Is that how
God.
Alpha Male works?
You don't warrant being argued with
Why are you still arguing with me then?
because Eric's opinion warrants some respect.
You're still arguing with me by saying because you're giving me reasons. That's argumentation. You know the definition?
Both of you shut the fuck up and like not talk to each
Why
other.
doesn't Taylor go smoke a bong and get his panties out of it?
I don't have one of those. I have a water vape.
Okay, well go do that. Mute yourself, bro.
Hey,
I know who the alpha male is.
Who is that?
It's Spacey. Spacey. Are you there?
What can I say, Lightbulb?
Tell me about my NI.
Oh, it's so hot.
Tell me how you really feel about
Love
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it spot on? Are you the alpha male?
Yes.
Then I'd say I got some good NI.
I think you have damn good NI. You know how to separate the wheat from the chaff. You cut right through the bullshit.
I'm just messing with
Magnus has a good point. You should have made that point verbally, Magnus. It carries more weight.
You know what? That's a pretty good argument, actually.
Yeah,
I'm actually a little scared of Magnus.
I totally defer Magnus.